Hi everyone, this is Crystal and I'm back with another page in my 2019 Project Life album. It's a 6x8 album and I have a 2-page spread that I'm working on today. These stories are not actually related, which happens sometimes in my album. It's a story focused album by month, but and I try and keep matching pages kind of going together, but sometimes of course you end up with things that don't take a full 2-day or 2-page spread to document, and so you have things that that don't really relate to each other, but that are going to be side by side in the album. So that's what's going on here. This is a few pictures of some flooding basically that was happening here, and then this is of course Abby, our sweet puppy Abby, our 14-year-old puppy Abby, and I have 2 different stories to tell. So to do that, I am using the Big and Small kit from Feed Your Craft. It's designed by Brandi Kincaid. I put these 2 side by side in the album because the colors kind of went together, so they're all very kind of neutral with some pops of blue and purple and green. So I thought they would complement each other, and I think that they'll both work really well with this kit. So let me show you what I've done so far. I have the bits left over from the previous projects that I've done with this kit, including the little bits from the cut apart sheet, but I printed some new things. So I printed a few cards, mostly because I want to try a couple things and I'm nervous about messing up the cards that I have. And even though I could just stop and print them then, I wanted to have them ready to go in case it didn't work out and I needed to start over. I didn't want to have to go back to my computer. So I've just gone ahead and printed these, and these 2 are the ones that I am planning to use today. I printed these just because I thought they might go well and coordinate, and I've already used them. So that's what this is. I've also reprinted the cut apart sheet because I thought I wanted to use some things that I've already used on another project. So I just went ahead and printed that. Again, I don't, you can use your silhouette to cut these out, but I don't mind fussy cutting, so I just print it as is and then I hand cut it. And then I also blew up one of the cards to be 6x8. So this is actually, let me grab it, this 4x6 card from the kit, and to make it 6x8, I took it into Photoshop and put it on a 6x8 canvas, and then I just erased this bottom row and this top row so that I would have something I could repeat. So it was just these 4 rows in the middle that I had left, and then I put the card in the center and then duplicated it and moved it up to the top and duplicated it again and moved it to the bottom, and then just eyeballed the spacing to kind of make it all consistent. And then I printed that on an 8.5x11 sheet of paper. So this is going to be the background for this full 6x8 page that I have over here. The back side is a full 6x8 photo, so I needed to fill in this spot with a 6x8 page. That's what this is going to be, and I just printed it on regular cardstock, same cardstock I used for the cut apart sheet, and then the cards are printed on a 100-pound cover stock. I do have a video about how I print, which I will link down below in case you're curious. And then finally, while I had my computer and printer going, I just went ahead and typed up my journaling. This is actually a label from a different kit, and I can't remember. Oh, I think it's Show and Tell. So I was looking for a green label, and I wanted something bigger than the ones that came on the cut apart sheet from this month's kit. So I just went back and found this one from Show and Tell, and then I took 2 of the labels from this cut apart sheet and added my journaling to them. I just had a few lines. So rather than take it to my typewriter, I decided just to be lazy and print it out. So then it's ready to go. So yeah, that's what I have to start with. I do have an idea of what I want to do, so I am just going to put you on fast forward and see if it works out. So I'm going to start by trimming out all the things that I printed, beginning with the 6x8 sheet, and I'm just using a paper trimmer to do that, just lining it up with the edge of the printed part of the paper. It ends up being slightly off from 6x8. I'm not sure what's happening with my printer. It always does that. It prints slightly different than the dimensions that I'm working with in Photoshop, and usually I adjust the settings. I blow it up or reduce the size just a tiny bit before I print, but I didn't do that this time. I wasn't thinking about it. So it's just slightly under, and that's fine. Odds are the picture on the other side is also slightly under because I printed it at home. So I will just adhere them together and trim around the edges so that if they move around in the pocket, they'll move around together. So I trim that out, and then my plan for this yellow card is to kind of tuck my photo into it. So it has all of that blank space and then that quote in the bottom left corner, and I want the quote to overlap my photo, but the rest of the card to be kind of behind my photo. So I'm just cutting a little kind of corner into the photo or into the card around the quote to make a little pocket for my photo to slip into, just like that. So I wasn't sure how I was going to do that at first. I thought maybe I needed to get out an X-Acto knife, but I was able to just do that with my paper trimmer pretty easily. And I plan to put some kind of embellishment over that corner. It looks a little harsh. I thought about rounding it, but I just decided to add an embellishment there instead. Okay, so now I'm just cutting out my journaling and labels that I printed as well, just using my scissors for that. That seemed like the easiest way to do that. And once that's cut out, I realized that there isn't really room to put it where I had planned to put it. I thought I would put it underneath the card at the bottom of this page, but my photo is too tall. But my photo has lots of blank space at the top that really doesn't need to be there. The subject of the photo is more towards the center. So in just a second, I'm going to realize I can just trim that off, and then everything will fit like I had planned. So I just grabbed my trimmer and trimmed off the white space at the top of the photo. And now everything fits on the page and will tuck in together like I had pictured in my mind. So before I glue all of that down and commit to it, I'm going to work on the other side of my page. So the other idea I had going into this page was to stamp directly on this card. And the cards that come in the kit are not glossy, but they do have a little bit of a slick surface to them, which is why I decided to print this. I thought I'd have better luck stamping on it if I printed it on just matte cardstock. So that's what I did. And then also, if I screwed up the stamping, I would have another one to play with. So I'm using the Aster stamp set that was also released this month. It's a gorgeous alphabet and number stamp set. There are two, an alphabet stamp set and a number stamp set in Brandi's handwriting, and I love it so much. I've been just dying to use it, and I was so happy to finally have an opportunity to do so. So I'm just stamping the month in black. That's just VersaFine. Is that what it's called? I don't even remember. It's the regular ink that I use for just about everything. And I stamped it in black right on that card. And then I'm using the little puffy alphas that were also released. I think they were actually released last month, but Elise was kind enough to send them to me. And the pink works really well with the colors in this kit. So I've just used those to spell out the word showers. So it's going to say April showers. And then I have a little journaling label that's going to slip right underneath that. And that label says brings flooding, I think is what I put. So just a little play on the April showers bring May flowers, but really April showers just brought lots of flooding around here. So I'm just trimming that out now, and then I'm going to play with the spacing a little bit. I added those stickers to the top. That's just the backer sheet to the stamp set. I was too lazy to grab my alignment tool, so I just used what was handy, and I just wanted to make sure that I got the spacing right and that everything would fit the way I wanted it to before I stuck all those tiny little stickers down. So this allowed me to get the label just in the right place. I actually had to move it up a little bit, and then I could add the stickers. And I thought I could just use this acetate sheet and just pull them off, but they were pretty well stuck to that. So I had to peel each one off and stick it down individually, which wasn't that big of a deal. At least I was able to see the spacing before I did so. So once that's all stuck down, I have one more little piece of journaling to trim out. So I'm just going to trim out that label with my scissors and figure out where I want to put it on the page. I wasn't really sure where it would work best. I thought maybe it would go on that smaller photo, but I didn't like the two journaling bits side by side. So I'm going to put it down on the larger photo below it. And then I'm going to go through all of the little cut apart pieces that came with this kit. And these are the ones that I had from previous projects, the ones I haven't used. I'm going to see what's there, and then I will trim out anything else that I didn't have or that I had already used from this new sheet that I printed out, which is one of the great things about these kits. When you get the physical kit, you also get digital copies, so you can print them as many times as you want. And I do. I generally reprint them a lot because I love these kits so much and I cannot get enough of them. So I just trimmed out one little circle that I had already used the first time I printed it that says little things. And I just used a circle punch. I think that's a 1 1/4 inch circle punch. And of course that will depend on your print settings and how you print them. But for me, I printed a borderless 8.5 by 11. So it's slightly larger than an inch. So a 1 1/4 inch punch worked perfectly for that. And now I'm just going to play around with all these little bits. I have the flowers from the cut apart sheet. I have a couple of the arrows, and then I have that heart that says today, and those two circles, the one that I just punched that says little things, and then the other one says love this. And I'm just trying to work out what I like best on the page and where I like it. On the left side there, I have a little arrow that kind of points down to the water from my journaling tag or label, and I really like that, so I'm going to go ahead and adhere all of this. And then I just added one of the flowers on top of it because again, there are already flowers on the page, and again, it's kind of a play on that April showers bring me flowers idea, so I thought the flowers worked really well. And then I felt like maybe it needed a little something extra on top of it, so I was looking at the stamp set to see if I could stamp something. But I didn't really find anything that was exactly what I was looking for. So I'm going to come back to that here in a little bit and figure out something else that will work. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and glue down my photo and the journaling card on this side of the page so that I can start adding the embellishments on top. I'm not quite sure exactly how I want to do the embellishment on this side. I've been playing around with it a little bit, and I will continue to do so. I like all of these pieces. It's just right now in my mind a matter of trying to get them balanced. So I'm thinking of color as well as shape. So I really like that, love this, but because it's the same color as the journaling card behind it, it makes it look like that corner isn't cut out, and that defeats the whole purpose of me adding that little cutout to the card. I could have just trimmed down my photo and added it on top. So I didn't like that. So I was trying to work out something else that would show the fact that it is actually tucked into that journal card, but still hide that harsh corner of the journal card on my photo. So I ended up going with that heart that says today and one of the little blue flowers because that brings in some of the blue from the other side of the page and also ties in with the blue in my photo. So I liked the way that ended up looking, and then I decided to grab this sheet of puffy stickers. This released last month, and again, Elise was kind enough to send it to me along with this kit. The colors work really well for the colors in this kit, so I added a little blue puffy circle sticker below the today heart, and I'm going to add a little pink kind of speech bubble looking sticker above the sentiment on the journaling card. And then again, I try and play with these little crosses or X's, and I just can't get them to work on the page, so I'm going to end up taking them off. And then I am going to add one puffy sticker to the right side as well, and then that's going to be it. That's this page all done. It was pretty simple. It came together pretty quickly, but I really love the way it turned out. And even though I've already used this kit in this album, I think this page looks totally different than the last one. So it just goes to show how versatile these kits are. So there are lots of close-up photos coming up, and of course, All of the products will be linked below. I think the physical kit is sold out now, but you can still get the digital one. And like I said, you can easily print everything from home that way. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you found this inspiring and are able to take something away from this and try it for yourself. I will see you all back here very soon.